Alrighty, thanks Megan. I'm joined here with Greg Remengay. It's time for some free legal advice. Today we are talking uninsured or underinsured.
And it's something we've talked about several times, but because it's so important, I think we need to repeat it every once in a while. Uninsured, underinsured is insurance you buy along with your policy to protect you in case the person who actually causes the accident doesn't have insurance or doesn't have enough insurance. So it's a way to protect you in case the other people aren't protecting you.
Okay, now when you're looking for a policy to include the uninsured or underinsured insurance, what are some of the things that you're going to want to look for to make sure that you're getting the best deal and the best coverage?
Well, first of all, in Colorado, uninsured, underinsured is offered as a part of your regular insurance policy unless you sign a waiver that specifically says, I don't want this type of coverage. Typically, the uninsured, underinsured coverage is in the same denomination as your liability. So if you have a 100-300 liability policy, your uninsured motorist policy will be a 100-300 uninsured motorist coverage. If you want more, depending on your situation, then you'd probably need to bump up your liability coverage, but that would also bump up your uninsured. And the reason that this is so important is in Colorado, there's a number of uninsured people. In Colorado, there's also, the rule says, in order to be fully insured, you only have to have $25,000 of liability. $25,000 of liability will not cover more than a day or so in the hospital. So if you want to protect your family, if somebody hits you, has a $25,000 policy, you can proceed to get that policy, and then you can get the rest of your care paid for by your uninsured policy.
Okay, so real quick before we have to go to break, for the person who's sitting there and they think, oh, well, I think I'll skip on this, what are the chances it's going to happen to me, what would you say to them?
Well, that's a risk we all have to take, but the odds are if you get in an accident, it's serious, your insurance of the person that hits you will not be enough to cover it, and you need to protect yourself. This is the only way you can control that protection.
All righty, Greg, thanks so much. If you have any kind of legal questions, well, Greg has the answers for you. Give him a call, 263-GREG. Always a pleasure having you here, Greg.
Thank you.
Stick around, everyone. I'll be right back with your full weather forecast after this.
If you want Greg to answer one of your legal questions, visit krextv.com, click on Live in the Studio, and submit your question on the right side of the screen. Watch Greg's segment every Wednesday on News Channel 5 at noon.